Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official Fallout 76 reveal trailer. You guys have no idea how excited I am to make this video. I am so stoked about the idea of a new Fallout game, and it's looking like this one is going to be much different than any other game that came before it. And the reason why I say that is apparently Fallout 76 is going to be a prequel that predates every other Fallout game in the entire franchise. There's a lot to talk about regarding Fallout 76 because the trailer gives us a lot of information about the game, and we also have a bunch of leaks and rumors that are circulating, which we will be covering here in today's video, and we even have some information about the game that can be traced back to Fallout 4 and Fallout 3. So we're going to be covering all of that here in today's video, so hopefully you guys will all sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's start things off here by taking a look at everything we know so far about Fallout 76. Like I said, this game is essentially going to be a prequel to the entire Fallout franchise, and we know this because in the trailer, the Pip-Boy, which is a super old school version of the Pip-Boy, the date on it is set to 2102, which is about 50 years before the events of Fallout 1. And in the trailer, we learn that Vault 76 was made in honor of America's tricentennial. A very big deal was made about the opening of Vault 76. We saw this during the opening sequence of Fallout 4, and of course we see it during the trailer as well. It was on television, we see posters of it. They made a big deal about Vault 76 because apparently the 500 residents that live in Vault 76, these are going to be the people who rebuild America, essentially. It says at the end of the trailer, in Vault 76, our future begins. And again, that goes back to the entire idea of this game being set nearly 50 years before the events of Fallout 1. Like, the people who leave Vault 76 are going to be some of the first people to enter the wasteland after the Great War, which is definitely a very interesting setting. Speaking of setting, there's been a lot of discussion recently about the exact location of Vault 76, and we don't know exactly where it is. We did learn in Fallout 3 that it's in the DC area, but we learned from this trailer, they seem to really hint that it's going to be in West Virginia, but Washington, DC and West Virginia are like right next to each other, so it's looking like in this general area is where the game is going to be set, and I really do hope that the game features Washington, DC quite a bit, because that's where, of course, we were in Fallout 3, and while Fallout 3 was a great game for the time, it did not age very well. They were very limited with their technology. A lot of the game was spent underground and in tunnels and stuff like that. Like, it would be really cool if we could actually see Washington, DC and all the iconic locations in Fallout 76, but as of right now, that is yet to be seen. Don't know if we're going to be able to actually go there. We do know that Vault 76 is one of 17 control vaults, quote unquote, which means there were no weird experiments whatsoever. The only catch with Vault 76 is 20 years after the bombs fall, the doors to the vault are going to open, and the people of the vault are going to go out into the wasteland and rebuild America. But according to the trailer, people are leaving the vault 25 years after the bombs fell, which seems to indicate either they're retconning that or there was a delay of some kind, which may be explained during the opening sequence. We really have no idea. And the final thing we know about Vault 76 is it may not be run by a traditional overseer. Going back to Fallout 3 and looking at this terminal entry, we can see that there's no mention of a traditional overseer whatsoever, but rather we have a computer control system named Brain Power 4, which may indicate that a robo-brain of some kind, or maybe some sort of a self-aware machine is running the vault. We really have no idea. Of course, this does not confirm anything whatsoever, but it's definitely a fun little tidbit for fans out there, and as of right now, that is all the information we currently have about Vault 76 and Fallout 76, but the story does not end there, because we have lots of unconfirmed leaks and rumors going around right now, and these rumors are upsetting a lot of fans. So this information is coming in from Kotaku. There's a link to the original article down there in the description, but apparently their sources who are very close to the development of Fallout 76, those sources are saying that the game is going to be an online survival RPG that was heavily inspired by DayZ, Rust, and Ark, which is rubbing a lot of fans the wrong way, to say the least, right? Fallout is known for being a giant open world RPG that you experience by yourself, right? That's your world. You can mod it up. You can do whatever you want in that world. It's yours. Do whatever you want to do. But if it's an online game, you're going to be much more restricted. Not to mention, if it is an online game, it's probably designed from the ground up to work with online play. Therefore, the quests are going to be different. The areas are going to be built in a different way. The whole game is going to feel different because it's designed for more than one person being there, right? So that's why a lot of fans are quite upset. Again, this is completely unconfirmed, but apparently, when Bethesda started working on this game, they envisioned it as a multiplayer version of Fallout, which is not too unlike what they did recently with Elder Scrolls Online, but apparently the game has changed a lot since then. It's not going to be an MMO, it's not going to be strictly single player, it's going to be somewhere in between, and apparently base building is going to return, which, my opinion on base building, regardless of all the other leaks and rumors and stuff like that, if we're solely focusing on base building here for a second, I think that the settlement system in Fallout 4 is one of the best aspects of that game. It made me fall in love with the game right away, and it's the reason why I still continue playing to this day. I love the entire system. I know some people out there don't like it. Some people can make the argument that it's lazy game development, and instead of having interesting missions or interesting areas, instead they have us build the areas for them. I can see why people don't like it, but for me personally, as long as the area is already fleshed out, there's already a couple of missions tied to it, if it's already part of the world, making it so we can customize it any way we want is just really good game design in my opinion. Like, being able to go back to Sanctuary in Fallout 4 and have the Minutemen come try to rebuild the area, then of course you can help and rebuild it any way you want, that is really fun to me. The entire idea of a post-apocalyptic RPG is you're in the post-apocalypse, right? The world is in ruin. Why not try to rebuild that world a little bit, right? When I go back to other games like Fallout New Vegas, I love Fallout New Vegas, don't get me wrong, but I really do wish I had more say on what is happening in the world itself. It would be nice, even at the very least, at a very small level, it would be nice if I could go to an area and say, this is my character's area. Like, this is my character. I'm role-playing as this guy. I want Helios 1 to be my home, right? It'd be cool if I could go ahead and, you know, make a little room in there, my room, decorate it how I want, put my bed here, store my things there. Like, that would be a really cool thing in my opinion, but that's not really an option. Whereas in Fallout 4, that is an option, right? If I want to go to the Starlight Drive-In and say, you know what, my guy's kind of a loner, he stumbled upon this old drive-in, he's gonna make his house here at the top of the drive-in, that's what I can do, and you can really roleplay to that extent, and I think that's one of the best aspects of the settlement system in Fallout 4. Not to mention the entire idea that you can try to rebuild the entire Commonwealth, like build up all these settlements, have trade routes going back and forth, like try to rebuild society. That's really cool. That's a really awesome system in my opinion, and I think with Fallout 76, with them apparently bringing back that base building system, and apparently with us being the first people out into the wasteland, I imagine base building and building up the world is going to be a very big part of that game. But the survival aspect, that one's a bit more up in the air in my opinion, right? They say the game is going to be similar to DayZ, Rust, and Ark, but is it really going to be like that? Or maybe is Bethesda just trying to focus more on the fantasy of living in the post-apocalypse, right? If you're living in the post-apocalypse, most of the time, your entire focus is on your day-to-day survival, and we do have aspects of that already in the Fallout franchise, right? You have your hydration levels, you have your hunger levels, you have your radiation levels and stuff like that that you have to maintain. Maybe they're just going to expand that system with Fallout 76. We don't know too much about it already. I personally love the fact that they may be trying to work on that a bit more, because that's one of my favorite aspects of the Fallout series, is that entire idea of survival. Like, I liked it in Fallout New Vegas, where when I go on the highest difficulty possible, if my companion dies, that companion's gone. I'll never forget, I was ambushed by Kaiser's Legion out at a ranger outpost, and they killed Eddie. I made it out. I killed every one of them, barely, by the skin of my teeth I made it through, but Eddie didn't make it. Eddie was with me since Prim. I love that little robot, but he died. He's laying there on the ground, and there's nothing I can do about it. That's like the harsh reality of playing on the harder difficulties, right? And so I hope to see more of that in Fallout 76. Maybe they're going to expand upon that system. We really have no idea. But when it comes to the online stuff, that, in my opinion, is what is going to make or break this game, assuming, of course, the leaks are true. And for all intents and purposes, let's assume that they are true. If Fallout 76 is an online game, I don't know how they plan to make that work, and I don't know how it could work within the context of a Fallout game and still feel like a Fallout game, right? I mean, we saw what happened with Elder Scrolls Online, which, to be fair, the game is still going, it still has a passionate player base, but it's nowhere near as big or as popular as Skyrim, right? And I'm worried the same thing is going to be happening to Fallout 76. I don't think it's going to be exactly like ESO. They already said it's not going to be an MMO, or the leaks are saying that, but apparently there will be some online elements. My hope is there are no real online elements, like no matchmaking or anything like that, but rather, I would like it if there were just some co-op elements, right? Make it so I can join my friend's game, make it so my friend can join my game. That's all we really need, right? Like, going back to Fallout 4 as the example, I love the game, my brother loves the game, we play the game together, seeing in Discord, but of course, we're playing separate games, right? He's playing his, I'm playing mine. I wish I could join his game and maybe help him build up a settlement or do a couple of missions with him, or head into Boston, kill some raiders, or go visit Diamond City, or do any number of things, right? That would be really fun in my opinion. Basically, have it be the same system that we see in the Borderlands franchise, where you join your friend's game. It doesn't matter where he is in the story or where you are in the story. You join his game, you can help him out. You may or may not be over-leveled or under-leveled, but it doesn't matter. It's you and your friend playing a video game together. That would be cool if we had that functionality, but I don't want them to build the game from the ground up to work with co-op, right? I don't want there to be, 3 or 4 extra enemies in an area because the game assumes you're going to have 2 or 3 friends with you. I don't want that to happen whatsoever. I don't want roads to be wider because they think more people are going to be there. I don't want alleys to be bigger because they assume more people are going to be there. I don't think anybody really wants that. I think people would be okay with online co-op. Like, your friend joins your session, you join your friend's session, you guys can play in each other's worlds. Like, I think people would like that. In fact, I think people have been asking for that forever now, but I don't think a lot of people are asking for an online Fallout game. So I suppose we are going to just have to wait and see how it plays out. This is definitely a very interesting situation. The Kotaku leaks seem pretty credible because Kotaku typically doesn't report things unless the things turn out to be true. Like, for those that don't know, I cover a lot of Call of Duty news on my main channel, and Kotaku accurately predicted pretty much everything regarding Black Ops 4 this year, so I'm inclined to believe them when they say all this stuff about Fallout 76 and what's going on over there at Bethesda. But of course, the official Bethesda E3 showcase is on June 10th, and I imagine a lot of information will be given out at this year's E3, so we are going to just have to wait and see how it plays out. I am going to do my best to keep you guys updated with more information as it becomes available, but until then, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts and feedback on Fallout 76 down there in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.
In Vault 76, our future begins.